because I can't really do Madison or God of War till tomorrow because I need company and help. And since I am stuck on just Smile for Me, I really got nothing better to do. I could have played Far Cry 3, but I just finished 4 and, you know, I don't want to go right back into the same old gameplay. Again, as I said with, what was it? Golly, my bad, you got distracted. As I said with, I think it's Sakura Succubus, right? It's been a while since I played this, so my voices for the characters won't be 100% accurate. But I will try and, for the ones I do remember, I will continue the voice, but please don't hate me if I change the voice because I don't remember what, you know? You get what I mean? Sorry, I was zipping up my jacket. I don't remember much. Shit. I don't remember much from the previous game. Something about, like, bits and pieces are coming back to me, right? Golly. But like, I think the last thing I remember was we were making love to our maid. I fucking love that maid so much. One of my favorite characters so far. The knight is standing a few feet away from me, her fingers wrapped around the hilt of her sword. Her hair is blazing, burning red, which flutters behind her in the breeze, and her gaze is just as fiery. She's looking at me with undistinguished hatred. I know she means to fight me, to defeat me, to take me down, but she doesn't mean to kill me. This knight, though she's confident in her abilities and proficient with her sword, has no desire to land a fatal blow, and that is why she will lose. I already know what the outcome of this fight will be, though she has yet to make a move. She can never hope to best me, the great dark witch Viola, if she fears killing me. These knights, they're all much too noble. They live by a sacred code and believe all fights should be conducted fairly without causing your opponent undue injury. She's a fool. She's smart, but she's still a fool. Viola, do you hear me? The knight points the sharp tip of her weapon at me. This will be the day that I finally defeat you. Oh, really? I don't have a weapon drawn myself. I'm a witch, not a warrior. And I don't need to use a cumbersome instrument hewn from steel to protect myself. I don't need to rely on anything other than myself. With a sigh, I coil a strand of hair around my finger. I think I can see a few split ends. I'll have to ask... I forgot her name. Neve? Did I give her a name before? I think I gave her a different name. For some reason. One reason or another. So please forgive me if I fuck up the name I did give her. I'd have to ask Neve to cut them later. Then why don't you give me your best? We haven't got all day. You'll regret saying that, Viola. The knight grits her teeth. Her grip on the hilt of her sword tightens. I'll make you regret it. The knight charges forward. The blade of her sword glitters beneath the spare sunlight. The pair of us are deep in the roseberry forest. The trees are thick around us, and a little light can pierce through the leaves above us. What light does manage to filter through to the forest floor is tinged green. The knight's blade glimmers with this green, almost sickly light as she lunges forward. She means to swing at me. She wants to take me down in one strike, but that's too naive. Everything about this knight is naive. She's one of those silly people who think she can win all confrontation if she marches onward, stifling the fear inside her heart. She's wrong, of course. It doesn't matter how much raw power you have or how strong your equipment is if you're too polite to play dirty. I see her blade approach me. It cuts through the air, the blade singing in the silence. It will make contact with my body in less than 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and then... my body shifts. I disappear as though I was never there to begin with. Teleportation. The knight stumbles forward, unable to change her trajectory. She's falling and she has no way to right herself. If I do nothing to help her, she'll hit the ground with a dull thud. I think that would be quite the amusing sight. With all that long hair of her, she'll be picking twigs out of it for days. But I'm not quite that cruel. What a handful you are. With a sigh, I click my fingers. A gentle light envelops the night before her face kisses the forest floor. This light supports her and helps her get back to her feet. I know, tricks like this aren't really befitting of the great dark witch Viola, but if I use any real magic, I'd burn this red-headed girl to a cinder. Hey! The knight glares at me, still gripping her sword. Why did you help me? Because I didn't want you to make a fool out of yourself. It would reflect rather badly on me being your mistress. Viola! The knight's face burns a delicious red, as though it's been stained by cranberries. I'll make you regret not taking this fight seriously. You mock my words. Me? Not taking a fight seriously? Never! The knight grits her teeth together. You never once taken me seriously, Viola. You regard our battle as nothing more than mere sparring matches. Well, isn't that what they are? I'm sacrificing my valuable time so you can train your body and your mind. You should be thankful. I think I called her Elena. I'll just call her. Elena, because I can't remember her name. You should be thankful, Elena, that I'm indulging in your little whims. This isn't one of my little whims. The knight, her name is Elena, by the way, replies. If she was a little more immature, like that thief girl, Fion, she'd probably stamp her foot against the ground. Elena, however, is far too proud for such a thing. She's no more a real knight than I'm a real maid, but she takes her role in Asf very seriously. Too seriously, I often thought. If we were ever going to learn why we were summoned to Asf, we'd need to become stronger. I'm helping you just like you're helping me. You should at least try and pretend that you care, instead of standing there yawning and examining your hair. Give me everything you've got. I'll be able to take it. But my dear Elena... I raked my eyes over her and frowned. If I went all out, I don't think you would be able to survive. You're forgetting I'm the great dark witch Viola. And you're forgetting that I'm a proud knight. Oh no, I could have never forgot that. You remind me every 5 seconds. Fighting is pointless if we're not trying our hardest. Is that so? Then maybe you should heed your own advice, Elena. What do you mean? Ah, that's shaking her. Elena's normally so cool and composed. It feels nice to score a hit against her. And I haven't even cast a single spell yet. Like all stony-faced people, Elena's actually pretty easy to fluster if you know what buttons to push. I mean, little knight girl. I'm a fully grown woman, thank you very much. Little knight woman doesn't really have the same ring to it, but aren't you the one who's taking our fight seriously? What do you mean? You're charging at me with that sword in hand, but you're too nice to see your attacks through to the bitter end. I want you to defeat me, yes, but you have no killing intent. You barely even have enough willpower to leave any bruises. Well, I mean, I can't kill you, as vexing as it is. We're supposed to be allies. And that is why you'll never defeat me. You're not strong enough. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like how I'm voicing Viola, but for the life of me, I can't. I remember all I remember is it was she's like not a masochist, but kind of like the one who inflicts pain, that gets pleasure from hurting others type of thing, right? And I know, like, I did something with that, but for the life of me, I can't remember how I did it, right? So like, if it's not the same vibe as the first game, I apologize. That's not my intention. I would love to do the same thing I did as the first game, you know, but I really can't remember. I really am sorry. So now all I'm doing is this kind of like, my intention is to be more of a, like, not petty, what's the word? Like, kind of like mocking and talking down to you, you know, not taking you seriously kind of thing. What, me? Oh, that couldn't be farther from the truth, type of thing, you know? Sarcastic, even though this character is not really sarcastic, but more teasing, and you know. So please do forgive me. I'm plenty strong. I used to be in the police force before I came to Asf. You know, I'm sure I could take you in a fight. It's wizard time, motherfucker! Fireball! just engulfs her in flames as she screams in agony. Maybe if we were still in Japan. I smile at her thinly. But we're not in Japan right now, are we? Well, no. Exactly. We're not in Japan, and I'm not Kotone, and you're not Aina. I'm the Dark Witch Viola. I'm one of the most feared mages in all of Asphalt, and I'm no more magic than you could ever dream of. Sorry, that was a bit much. Let me redo that. And I know more magic than you could ever dream of. That's better. It's not possible for a knight like you to defeat me by waving that sword in my face. Not if you don't mean it. Ah, fuck. Every time I feel like my brain, I feel like I'm trying to go for like something like the Enemy Within's Joker, and I don't want that, but I feel like I'm fucking. I feel like I know she's a villain, but that's not the villain I want to try and voice, you know. I planned it all out, and soon you will see, my sweet Elena. That's not the shit I want. I want. Fuck. I only have myself to blame because I'm fucking. I don't want to say worthless because, you know, I'm probably just gathering self-pity points. Yeah, but you get what I mean. You mean you want me to hurt you? Not particularly. I'm not a masochist, but that's the only way you can ever best me. You can't strike a blow intending only to wound. You need to try and kill. Don't be afraid of spilling blood, little knight. But as a knight, I can't try and kill the person who puts a roof over my head and fed me and clothed me. It would be dishonorable. And that code of honor is why we can fight 10, 20, 30, 100 times, and it'll always end the same. Attend. Oh, is this taken from the first game? Oh, I don't mind if they reuse assets as long as there's new assets. You know what I mean? I hold the palm of my hand, the fingers outstretched, and say one simple word. I wanna get up! And just sends her flying down. Oh shit, did I do too much? Burn. Hello. Squeaky clean, achievement unlocked. I'm trying to figure out why they're wearing clothes. I'm not trying to be weird, sorry. That's not my intention, but it's like, is it because just to make each other comfortable? Is it just to is that a thing in Japan? Like when you have a shower or bath, do you put on like a swimsuit or like boxer or you know, like things like this? Is that how it works? Just curious. Look at me, I'm smug and adorable. You can't hate me. You really don't hold back, do you? It's just a charred body. Oh, but I was holding back. If I didn't rein in my power just a little, you'd be burned to ashes, and the rest of the forest along with you. Wow, that's so reassuring. Elena glowers at me. Not. I pout. Well, you could at least thank me for watching out for you, you stupid woman. Oh, that sounds kinda... Well, you could at least thank me for watching out for you, you stupid woman. I'm sorry. You stupid woman. I don't, no matter how I say it, it sounds really bad. Stupid? How am I stupid? You never listen to what I say. You always assume you're right and correct because you're noble and honorable, but that's why you lose so badly whenever you spar with me. Now shut up and let me take care of you. I'm sitting in the bathroom of my homestead, the imposing Nightmare Citadel. I guess looking back on it, the name Nightmare Citadel is a bit over the top, but I thought it was cool when I first picked it. This gothic western-styled castle located in the middle of a thick forest has served me well during my years of playing ASF Online. The master bedroom is my favorite room, with its large oak four-poster and its old-fashioned wardrobes filled with clothes, but this bathroom's pretty nice. I have several bathrooms in my home, but this is my favorite. It's modeled after a bathhouse, and the high ceiling is supposed to be marble columns. Right now, my little knight and I are sitting on the floor on the wooden stools, Japanese style, while I scrub at her exposed back. I don't know why, but my range of thinking is just like, yo, me and her was having sex, doggy style. It's just like, yo, me and my girlfriend, we were fucking hard, Japanese style. Like, I don't know why that popped into my brain. Like, they say it like it's a sex person. Well, I scrub at her exposed back. When I hit Elena with that fire spell, she tried to twist away from me, but she wasn't quite fast enough. The spell caught her back, and it sheared straight through her clothes. It's fortunate my magical power could fix her clothes in an instant, but her skin was a different matter. I healed the worst of the angry red welts with my magic, but the scars haven't completely healed. The pain hasn't faded yet either. I'm a proficient white mage. I'm proficient at most magic, really. And I can heal even major injuries caused by mundane weapons, swords, arrows, lances, etc. When it comes to healing wounds inflicted by magic, however, it can be a bit trickier. Magical wounds take a lot longer to close up completely, and they require a bit more tender love and care. That's why I'm washing Elena's back. She might be a stupid knight, but she's my stupid knight. I already taught her a lesson, now it's my job to look after her wounds. How do you feel? I press the sponge against Elena's back and scrub gently. I don't want to hurt her more than I have already. Elena's body shivers beneath my touches. Even though I can't see her face from this angle, I wouldn't be surprised if she was wincing. I'm okay. Liar. I press the sponges down with a little more force, and Elena gasps softly. Ha ha ha! Well, maybe it hurts a little. Just a little. Alright. Maybe it hurts. A lot, actually. Why did you hit me with a fire spell anyway? You were the one who told me I wasn't taking things seriously enough. I was just trying to make you happy, darling. I think I've, like, not a blocked nose, but kind of like a blockage, and so I may sound weird.
SpongeBob, get to sucking, bitch.
Just, those fucking, I fucking love those, like, AI videos, right, where where the Minecraft dude gets in, right, and he's, like, taking the stuff, and he's like,
hey you, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out, taking my shit, I'm tired of your fucking shit, get the fuck out of here. Fucking cunt, fucking get the hell out of here.
I fucking love those videos. I pressed the sponge down even harder against a puckered line of raised, angry skin. So much for being gentle. And Elena gasped, "You really are a sadist." "Yep. You shouldn't answer me so cheerfully." "Oh, and why not?" Yeah, it sounds like my nose is blocked and I'm kind of self-conscious about it. I'm sorry if you guys can hear it. It isn't something to be proud of. Hey, if you're allowed to be proud of your nightly coat or whatever it is, then I'm allowed to be proud of my unique skills. I'm confident in my abilities with the blade. At least I was before I met you. She sighs. "I can't believe it. We sparred dozens of times already, and I've yet to beat you once." "That's because you're stubborn. You think your way is right, and you never listen to any of the advice I give you." But I don't like your advice. You tell me to sneak up on my enemies and fight with the intent to kill. It's also bloodthirsty. That isn't noble. It's not what knights do. I believe in fighting fair, even if my chances of victory are slim. And that is the very... What is that word? Ah, you motherfucker. You fucking with me now. I'm gonna just call it considious. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know what the fuck it means. But I don't know what the fuck that means. And that is the very considious of you. But you can't expect everybody to be as virtuous as you are. If I go, look at that. Wow. Oh, my bad. I saw, see the little design? I thought there was water, right? But no. But you can't expect everybody to be as virtuous as you are. My brain's fucking with me because every time I try and voice Viola, my brain is just thinking of fucking Mettaton dun 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 do 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 ba 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 da do 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 do, and it just, my brain is like, it's doing little fucking Mettaton doing its little dance sped up. Like, you know that image of like Homer and his brain is just the clapping monkey? It's just Mettaton in a black background with like doing the little dance sped up but with like no fucking music. And that's what's in my brain. I know, I can't expect it. I live with you after all. I don't want to abandon my morals. Then you'll never be able to defeat me. It's as simple as that. I trace the sponge against Elena's back slowly. More careful this time. She's an infuriating one, alright. Her skills with the sword are nothing to sneeze at, and she's a very hard-working woman. She's always out in the forest training. If her thinking was a bit more flexible, she'd be a formidable foe, even for me. It's a shame she's so very stubborn. I frown as I scrub at Elena's scars. The welts from my fire spell are already starting to recede, but she has a few lingering cuts and bruises on her milky white skin which will never go away no matter what magic I could use. Every time sorry if I pause when I try to say Elena, right? I want to say Elena, but my brain keeps trying to say Elira. And I don't know if that's right or not. It's probably mispronounced, but it's like, I feel like that's how it's pronounced. But I will still continue to say Elena. She had these wounds for much too long. How'd you get all these other scars anyway? I disregarded the sponge, damp and slick with soap suds, and the trail of the tip of my fingers down the hairline cracks which crisscross her back. What happened? Well, it happened shortly after I arrived in Asf. I awoke in the middle of the forest. At the time, I didn't know where I was, and I was dazed and confused. I didn't know where I was or how I'd got to Asf, and I was scared. A group of travelers passing by happened to find me. They said they would help me find shelter and lodging, but they didn't. No. They led me deeper and deeper into the forest until I was completely disorientated. And then they robbed me. They stole what few possessions I had, and they took my sword, and then they took my boots. They beat me, and then they left me in my undergarments in the heart of the woods for dead. So you fell afoul of bandits, did you? That's right. I can't see Elira's face, but I'm sure she's wincing. I was a fool for being so trusting, but I was desperate and afraid. It was through sheer luck that I was able to stumble over the gates of Mortier, already half dead. I was taken in by one of the village guards. They pitied me, and they found me a place to sleep and food to eat. I wanted to repay them for their kindness, so I offered to help them protect the city. They were skeptical at first, of course, they would be, but when I showed them how proficient I was with a blade, they soon let me join their ranks. I was a guard at Montier for several weeks before I met you, by which point I had already made myself a name for myself. My bad. I imagine you were one of the best at... Fuck, I keep... I imagine you were one of the best at apprehending thieves. Indeed, I was rather passionate about it. I wanted to see if I could find those crooks who had swindled me during my first day in Asf. But I never did. You know, I bet this is foreshadowing and we're going to find them later on. Is that a scar on my shoulder? Or is that... Oh, wait, no, that might be water. I thought that was a scar. I'm like... Yo... It was a fruitless effort. Well, that explains why you were so adamant about him. Punishing poor Holly. But don't worry about that now. You're with me, and I wouldn't let anybody hurt you, except for myself, of course. Is that supposed to make me feel better? I'd hope so. Scared the shit out of me. I thought that was a fucking mechanical crab dog stitch thing. I was like, what the fuck was that? I drew my arm around Elena's back with a damp wet sound and the rest of my head gently against her shoulder. Her body stiffens beneath mine, but Elena doesn't try to push me away. For all she protests, I think Elena has grown rather fond of me. We have been living together in Asf for a month now. Though we've been searching Asf high and low, we've yet to find anybody else who was summoned into this fantasy world from Japan. We're united by our status as outsiders. It's a bond that can't be broken easily, not even by a fire spell or two. No matter what happens, we're together. If we look hard enough, I'm sure we'll learn why we were summoned to this place. Who the fuck's growling at me? I will backhand you, swear to God. Who's out there? Then you'll be able to go home and you'll be safe. I want to keep you safe. You mean that? Of course, I promise. I might be the wicked witch Viola, feared across all of Asf for my mastery of arcane magic, but I'm not evil. At least, I don't think I am. Not when I want to get on a cute girl's good side. Golly! Good golly, Batman! Now, I wonder. Elena seems pretty relaxed for once. Should I let her rest? No. She must be exhausted. I'll let her rest. You know, I'll let her rest for now, right? She's had a rough day, but next time I won't be so lenient. She must be exhausted. I'll let her rest for now. We have a busy day ahead of us, and there's still a lot I want to get done. I better run the pair of us a quick bath, and then we can set off on our next adventure. After my bath, I return to my boudoir, Elena in tow. There I find Fion and Neve, a rather unusual combination. Fion, the twitchy little thief girl I met in the Roseberry Forest, and Neve, my stalwart maid, don't get along at the best of times. Maybe they're learning how to get along. If that's the case, it would make me happy, but it seems more likely that they were trying to overhear me and Elena talking in the bath. As if to confirm my suspicions, Fion looked at me when I entered the room, a sly smirk on her face. You fucking brat, you think I won't throw you out the castle window? And where were you two, huh? Elena glances to one side shyly, her cheeks an adorable shade of pale pink. She might be super cute. Whoever said pink doesn't go well with red had obviously never met Elena, but if she blushes like that, she's going to make Fion and Neve suspicious. Fion is easy enough to deal with, but Neve can be a little possessive. And I ain't complaining. At times, I'm glad my maid cares about me so much, but sometimes I fear she cares about me a little too much. We were sparring in the forest, just like usual. In the forest, huh? That's right. It's easy to find in the forest. I care rather less about burning trees than I do my beloved bed. But if you were out in the forest, why could I hear the bath running a few minutes ago? I got sweaty and wanted to clear myself off. Is there anything so unusual about that?
What's this?
This is Sakura MMO 2,
So you weren't swimming today?
You're the one who said play the visual novel for...
I didn't know you meant today. I thought you meant some other thing. My bad.
We were talking because, like, I want to play Far Cry 3, but as I was just saying before, I want to take a break from that because I completed Far Cry 4. And I was like, I'm only going to get more frustrated because, you know, it's basically a much wilder island than the fourth one, and that doesn't sound very fun for now. But I wasn't in the mood to, you know, read, right? But he's like, oh yeah, and we were talking, right? And he was like, well, it depends. Are you gonna play one after the other? I'm like, well, it depends. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, if I play Far Cry 3, by the time I finish that, I will probably move on to a different game that's not this. But if I play the visual novel, I'll probably, because it's much shorter than Far Cry 3, I presume, I'll probably go into Far Cry 3 next. And he's like, what are you... And he's like, what are you playing? I'm like, oh, the visual novel you told me to download. It's like, oh, I thought you weren't streaming. Say, you're the one who fucking suggested it! And he's like, oh, you mean... Oh, okay, I didn't know. That. Is there anything so unusual about that? No, but if you want a bath, you could have asked me to run one for you, my lady. As your maid, it's my job to serve you. I love Neve so much. I love her, just genuinely. Genuinely, I love her. She is so precious. Every time she's on screen, I can just feel my heart tighten. Just genuinely. It's fine. I didn't want to bother you. You could never bother me, no matter is too small. I live to serve you, my lady, so I would appreciate it if you use me to the fullest degree. You know that fucking meme, and it's like, you know when Finn and Jake were trying to sneak out of Marceline's house and the spider bit him and he's like banging on the floor trying not to wake up Marceline and he's just screaming in silent pain. That's how I feel. Well, thanks for the invitation, but maybe later. I take a seat on the bed and fold one leg over the other, suppressing a small sigh. I suppose it is quite fun in a way, but I wish they wouldn't get so jealous of each other. She is my fucking heart. Like the other ones are alright, but she's just too precious. Cause like I think I said the first one where it's like whenever I see a character, right, or whatever, and I'm like oh boy, or just some horny comment, right? That's usually like the like I think it's more a feeling of I would not like partially lust, right? It's mostly and partially lust because of like a horny design, right? But I think Neve is the first, or like I think one of the first characters that I react out of genuine love, right? There's no lust. There is only love for her, and I don't want that to change. I try to give everybody equal amount of attention, but there's only one of me and 3 of them. I suppose I could always try to clone myself. It's high-level magic, and clones only exist for a few minutes. That might be rather interesting. How troublesome. I'll have to think about it later. Right now I have more pressing matters at hand. So, what are we doing today? Are we going to Lighten again? I want to take on more quests. Over the last month or so, my party of 4 has been going to the nearby city of Lighten to accept quests at the Adventurers Guild. I've been accepting any quest we can find in the hopes of learning why Elena and I were summoned to Asf. Then I might be able to learn how to return home to Japan. It's not like I'm in a hurry to go back, but I don't like the thought of being held captive in this world against my will. The Dark Witch Viola makes her own destiny. Alright, now that sounds pretty cool. Unfortunately, we haven't learned anything yet, but I'm sure if we complete enough quests, we'll eventually stumble upon something. Of course, when I go into the city, I have to wear a disguise. The Dark Witch Viola is well known in Asf, and if I walk through the streets of my Dark Witch regalia, it would cause quite a scene. Being a celebrity can be so exhausting at times. Every time... Sorry, my brain's filled with memes. I don't know why, but like every last couple of days I've just been thinking of memes and I don't know why, but like I just think of like some poor innocent family, right? And then there's like Viola, the Great Witch Dark, or whatever, Viola, right? And it's that meme like, you burned my house to the ground. My family was there. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna find you. And it's just, you know, that fucking meme where like I was just shrugging, and just imagine her like looking innocent and like trying to act cute as the fire's like, you burned my house to the ground. You killed my family. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna. It has been a few days. Shit. Wait. It's like a much, kind of like a softer, lower voice, you know? It has been a fuck. I'm gonna fuck up the voice for Neve, and I feel love, Neve. It has been a few days since we last went to Highton. I'm feeling suitably well rested from our trip, and would not mind the exercise. Although... Neve frowns and taps her lower lip with her index finger. Pardon me, I'm sorry, that was so rude. Just that one fuck, no, stop thinking of memes, please, I just want to play the story. This is like how I feel with any other character, and then there's Neve, and it's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, I'm out. It's like, why? Why must you do this? My brain is full of memes, and I just want to play the story, please. I do wonder why you have been taking on so many quests at the Adventurers Guild, my lady. You are already the feared Dark Witch. You shouldn't run petty errands for others in disguise. It's beneath you. Hey, lighten up, Neve. Don't you think it's kinda fun? It is entirely unenjoyable. It isn't entirely unenjoyable, though, I suppose. But my lady is much too important to spend her days returning lost chickens or defending common bog flies. Hey, you're such a snob, Neve. I am not a snob. I simply have my lady's best wishes at heart. Fion and Neve, unlike Elena and I, are residents of Asp. They weren't, are resident of Asp. They weren't summoned here from the human world, or whatever you want to call it. And they don't know Elena and I were really born in Japan. Neither do they know that I've been trying to figure out how to get back home. They're in the dark about this whole thing, and while I feel a little guilty for not telling them the truth, it's probably easiest this way. If they knew that their beloved home, Asf, is nothing more than a video game in a human world and they're NPCs without any autonomy, I'm sure it would give them quite a shock. Wait, so we didn't fuck? I don't know how the rules of this world work, and uncovering the truth could cause some kind of space-time rupture that irreparably destroys us forever. That's why I haven't told them the truth. In fact, I doubt they'd believe me if I tried. You don't need to worry about... you don't need to worry about my honor, Neve. I already told you I'm doing this on a whim. Nobody's bothering to challenge me anymore. I haven't met a single strong opponent in months. Everyone at Asp knows how powerful the Great Witch, the Great Dark Witch is, and they're all too afraid to approach me. Waiting for fools to challenge me has become rather tedious, so I thought I might as well take on new challenges on my own volition, that's all. I know that, and I can appreciate it, but bogflies? Really? It's more fun than sitting around inside, anyway, even if these quests are easy. Exactly! I might tire of doing quests like this after a while. particularly if they fail to offer up any interesting information. But I want to keep at it for just a while longer. Who knows? Today we might be met with a really interesting quest. I wouldn't have... Oh, sorry, it's just... Switching is... It's not a bore or tiresome, but it's just... Going from different pitches so suddenly, it's just... It doesn't take a toll, but it's something, you know? I wouldn't... Oh, fuck, I'm trying to remember what pitch. It wasn't... I wouldn't hold out... Fuck, sorry, fuck, I wouldn't hold out much hope. Doubtless you'll ask to collect walnuts or animal hides again. It makes me wonder why these people leaving such for a quest can't go and do them themselves. It ain't that complicated, really. Most people are just too busy to go around killing wild animals for pelts. People have to work to make money, you know. My father was the same. Back when he ran his store, he always was going to the Adventurers Guild and, Montier, and asking passing heroes if they'd gather this and that for him. Indeed, most people in Asps can't use weapons or magic, so fighting monsters is out of the question. It's our job to do the fighting for them, and that's why we're compensated so handsomely for our time. I don't think we're compensated handsomely enough. If all these housewives and store owners knew their requests were being fulfilled by the great witch Viola, they'd soon give us more coins for our effort. If they knew I was the witch Viola, they'd run away screaming. Well, you might be right. People are so foolish. They don't appreciate or understand you, not like I do. I think it's more of me being, like, while I'm reading, I feel like there's a crack in my voice that only I can hear, and then I get self-conscious of how I actually sound. It makes me a little bit less confident, so like my voice is wavy and then I have to restart again. You know what I mean? Well, it's a good thing I have you around, Neve. I'll never be lonely with you. My lady, do you really mean it? I mean everything I say. I'm not simply trying to placate her either. Life in Tokyo was dreadfully dull, but in Asf I can do whatever I want and be who I want. There are no rules or restrictions. I'm finally free from my dull, boring everyday life. And I have people to share this newfound freedom with too. Neve, Fion, Elena, I care about them, and they care about me. That's why part of me doesn't want to leave Asp. I want to stay here forever, but all the same. Now, let's get ready. We're going to Lighten today. I can't keep living in blissful ignorance. Yeah, you can. The fuck? I mean, like, if you do go back and you can't, like, get back here, then you'll be, like, on the streets because you don't know if time passes the same way. Rent is probably way overdue. You teleport back and it's the scene from fucking, the thing from, Nowhere Home where, like, whoever, like, you're in someone else's apartment because you didn't pay rent. Pardon me. Who called me to ask? Why am I here? What do they want? I do not know. But if I keep taking requests at the Adventurers Guild, I might get a little closer to finding out. My mismatched group finally arrives in Linton an hour later. To get to the city, we had to walk through the forest on foot, stepping over loose branches and twigs. Travel would be easier if we could use one of the handy hub crystals that exist in Asp Online, but I haven't found any of these crystals in the real Asp. To get between towns and city, you need to use your legs. That, or carts and horses. It'd be easier if we could go to the Adventurers Guild in Hawthorne, which is closer to my citadel, but after the events that occurred in Hawthorne last month, I doubt the villagers would be very welcoming. Neve left quite the lasting impression when she unleashed that powerful spell in the middle of the market. Oh well, I don't mind walking that much. The forest is relaxing and the low-level monsters that lurk amongst the trees don't pose any real threat. Aha! Finally! Fion sighs when we exit the thick forest that lines Linton. She pauses, pouting, and rubs her ankle with her fingers. I hate walking through the woods. It takes ages! You should toughen yourself up a little more. Perhaps you could start training in the morning with me. I don't know about that. That huge sword of yours would cut me in two. I won't try to hurt you, Fion. I promise. I ain't so sure. You did try and imprison my sister and all. You can believe her, little puppy. Elena's a proud knight, and knights don't like to harm others, even when it would be to their benefit. I give Elena a pointed look and she blushes. Don't look at me like that. You know what you did. Elena puts up such a tough front, but it's so easy to tear it down. Or should I go? But it's so easy to tear it down. I do think Elena has a point. You used to live out in the streets, Fion, but you've become rather complacent since I took you in. A life of luxury must have turned you soft. Well, maybe I've gotten a little rusty, but taking on all these quests should toughen me up. I fail to see how collecting berries or catching fish could toughen anybody up. I hope they don't want us to fish today. It's so boring! You think everything is boring? Fion sticks her tongue out at Neve, who sighs. I imagine she'd use Neve would use her claws and grab her tongue and pull it farther out. Neve, let her go. She gives a glare to me and then back out to Fion, and then hesitantly lets go, and it does the cartoon where it rolls back, it flings back into her face and rolls back in a cartoon or whatever, as she gets fucking dizzy from her tongue hitting her in the face. Well, we won't know what quests are waiting for us until we go into the guild, shall we? That's exactly what I was going to say. You might make a good second-in-command someday, Elena. Huh? I thought I was supposed to be your second-in-command. Of course you're not, Neve. You're my precious maid and my right-hand woman. Then what about me? You're the family dog. Sorry. You're the family dog. I ain't a dog. Oh, but you are. You even bark on command. I ain't barking. Stop teasing me. Only if you stop yapping. You really are proving my point. I pat the top of Fion's messy blonde head and laugh, which earns me a scowl. I can't really take Fion's scowl seriously though, she's much too cute. Sorry, my brain just went into like... My brain thought of horny, intrusive thoughts, and my brain just kind of turned off for a second, sorry. The four of us started walking through the cobblestone streets of Linton. Where did the music go? Hello? Where am I? Why is it... Where is everyone? Why is it so bright? It turns out I somehow tripped into the back room with like the buzzing yellow lights. After a leisurely stroll, we arrive outside the Adventurers Guild. I'm about to step inside when... I can see! I'm wasting my time with you! You're nothing but a silly little girl! What the fuck? I'll tell everybody in Lighton how uncooperative you've been, and then we'll see what happens to you in your guild! Good day! A tall gentleman storms of the guild in a obvious rage. He's dressed in the garb of a butler, and his hands are encased in white gloves. His clothes look very flashy. I'm sure they cost a lot of money. Does he serve a noble family? If he does, he certainly doesn't seem very polite. And you! He must have seen me looking because he shoots me a nasty glare. What are you looking at, huh? Oh, you're pissing her off. You gotta make her mad. Don't make her mad. She's sexy when she's mad. Not that I'm complaining. Neve takes a step forward, obviously ready to berate him, but I rest a restraining hand on her shoulder. I don't want her getting into a fight outside the guild. If possible, I'd like to avoid a scene like the one that happened in Hawthorne Market. I wasn't looking at anything, my good sir. I apologize. As you should be, the man snorts. At least some people around here still have the respect for the estate family. And with that haughty remark, he sallies on. Neve watches as he is retreating back, her fingers balled into a fist. Why didn't you let me deal with him, my lady? You shouldn't need to apologize to a brute like that. I know, but sometimes a little apology can go a long way. But you're the great dark witch. I clap a hand over Neve's mouth. Sorry, keep thinking of that. You know, I keep seeing that fucking horny post, right? And it was of like Boy Robot and like Jenny from Life of a Teenage Robot or whatever, but like she's like busty and shit, and he like grabs her by the way. It's like, question, does your mouth only shut when there's something in it? The street is pretty deserted, but you can never tell who might be listening. Neve, please, I appreciate the sentiment, but I wouldn't want to cause a scene. I know I could defeat him with a click of my fingers. He's like an ant to me. Educating an insect like that is beneath me. It's easier to let him scurry on. I draw my hand away from Neve's mouth when I'm convinced she returned to her senses. My maid sighs, evidently disappointed. Does she love bloodshed that much? But she does begrudgingly accept my words. Well, I suppose you know best. Indeed I do. I appreciate how loyal you are, Neve, but if you cause me any problems, but if you cause me any problems, I won't hesitate to discipline you. Now let us go inside. Perhaps we'll learn why that gentleman was so angry. Neve is probably worried, scared, and also aroused at the thought of a punishment. The four of us push open the heavy wooden door and enter the Adventurers Guild. A bell chimes, letting the guildmaster know of our arrival. As for the guildmaster herself, well, golly. You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of the thief from Konosuba. Achievement completely soaked. I'm probably gonna have to be having the same, because I can't have, like, I'm not good with, my voice can only go so high and so low. I can't believe the nerve of some people. She looks different than usual. Her hair is damp and so is the rest of her. Her clothes stick to her body and relents the water trickled down her cheeks and her nose. Fuck. She doesn't look embarrassed by her predicament, though in fact it's quite the contrary. Her eyes are narrowed and she's grinding her teeth together so hard I'm worried she'll sand them down. Bastard! Who does he think he is? Storming in here and making demands. He has no right to act so high and mighty. The honor of this state family be damned! Anybody can use my guild's services, whoever they are. How dare he try to threaten me? I should have kicked him where the sun doesn't shine. That's what I should have done, but using an aqua spell of all things, how cheap. The guildmaster grumbles to herself under her breath. She doesn't look angry enough, in my opinion. It almost looks, it's more of an inconvenience. I've been coming to this guild for the last month, and I've never seen her look this angry before. Madai is usually a cheerful, high-spirited woman. That means that man really must have angered her. Excuse me. Madai blinks. She lifts her head. Her expression remains dark for a few moments. Her eyes might be looking at me, but her mind is evidently still with that gentleman before it thaws out in recognition. Oh, Violet! Violet is what I call myself when I'm wearing my disguise. And Vion, and Neve, and Elena too. I'm sorry, I didn't see you earlier. It's quite alright. You look rather, preoccupied. Oh, that's right. It was simply awful. I don't bother asking Madai what exactly was so awful. She's something of a talker. That might be prerequisite to running a guild, and she never keeps her opinions to herself for long. That terrible man came in here not 10 minutes earlier, proud as anything, and demanded that I take down a request on the notice board that was put up only an hour ago. A request? I wonder what that could be. If this emissary from the state family, one of the richest families in Linton, was sent to the guild by his master to have a request taken down, it must be brief, it must be fairly important. Could this be a piece of missing information I've been looking for? If you don't mind me asking, what sort of request is it? I certainly don't mind telling you, but first I'd like to dry myself off. When I refused to bow to that man's demands, he even tried to bribe me. Can you believe that? He cast a spell on me, then stormed out like a child having a temper tantrum. Oh, right, let me fix that for you. I click my fingers and Madai's clothes instantly dry themselves. My brain is two different states. One is like, oh, as in like my horny part of my brain. But then the other part of my brain, like as like whether it's personal to me or because I see myself as a character designer, that is one of the worst fucking outfits. Only because it's like, I can forgive the horny panty shot and skirt, right? That's a choice or whatever, right? But the whole thing, like, the whole thing around the side boob and stuff, right? I don't mind if you want to show side boob, but it's like your outfit is being held on by fucking strings. Strings, for God's sakes. Like, cause I don't know, I probably said this in the past, but for those who don't know, right? I don't know why, but whenever I see characters like this, I dislike it because I imagine myself, like if I had that little, not that clothing itself exactly, but whenever I see something like this, I feel myself cold because I can imagine myself with like little clothing like that, and I would be freezing my ass off. So it chills me, right? It chills me to see some fucking, like, there are many ways they could have done it. Many ways they could have, like, achieved, like, at least have something, like, around the waist, right? So, like, you know? Or, like, it just, I feel like it's fine having side boob or whatever, right? But I feel like it bothers me because it doesn't feel connected, right? Some prankster can just have snip snip behind and titty galore, huzzah, titty galore, and for the whole city to see, you know? And you're wondering, how could this happen? Because you are literally having the string of, like, you know, the masks that you wear for COVID, those shittily made fucking strings snap off. It honestly bothers me, right? I can forgive I can forgive the front part, right? But it's more the skin, right? Because the top part, like, you could have like chainmail or kind of like, I mean, I could make a design or an updated design for that, but there are too many options to make better. And plus, I'm cringing because I feel like I sound like that fixture art for you, because I don't feel like that. Because what I do is more fun, rather this is what you should have done. But I feel like that's how I'm sounding. But it really bothers me because it's like, how the fuck are you not cold? You were just, you were not fucking, like maybe 30 seconds ago, doused with water. How do you not have a fucking cold? I don't care if I snap my fingers and cleared your fucking, dried everything off. I don't give two shits. You are going to have a cold and it's gonna be a bitch, and it is only you to fucking blame. Just imagine, like, fucking, I'm just like Viola fucking poorly berating this poor fucking, like, just for her clothing, and that's not even what we came here to do. Thank you, Violet. I don't know what I'd do without you. You really are a gifted mage. Not really. Yes, you are. You're one of the most talented mages there is. Stop it. You're flattering me. So, Madai, about this request, just what is it, and who submitted it? Well, that's the thing. The request was actually made early this morning, and by the maid of the Chaston family. Chaston. I played Asph Online a lot when I still lived in Japan. I remember this name. The D-States and the Chastons were the two noble families that ruled over the city of Linton. They were forever at loggerheads, both of them desperate to claim the city of their own. There were a few quests where you had to choose which noble house to side with, and the side with the Chastens or the Destates. I always picked the Chastens myself, other than a few quests here and there. However, these noble families never really served any purpose in the overall plot of Asphalt Online. You could never go inside their homes, and you never met any of the family members themselves. Will I finally be able to meet some of the most influential people in Linton? This could prove to be very useful indeed. The head maid was rather concerned, you see. The young daughter of the Chaston family, Aslan, is to be wed to the young son of the Desate family, Siran. A wedding? That's right. Everybody knows about it. It's been the talk of the city for months. The wedding is supposed to take place next week, but a dreadful catastrophe recently struck in Chaston home. Let me redo that, sorry. The wedding is supposed to take place next week, but a dreadful catastrophe recently struck in the Chaston home. For a so-called dreadful catastrophe, Madai sure looks happy talking about it. She really does love gossip. I like Madai, but she's not somebody I'd entrust with any of my secrets. Yeah, she'd fucking spill the shit out of me being the witch. The Chastain family owns a very beautiful diamond necklace. It's a priceless family heirloom, and Lady Aslan wears it whenever she isn't bathing or sleeping. This diamond necklace was going to play an important part in the wedding ceremony. The diamond necklace of the Chastain family was supposed to be traded for the converted diamond brooch owned by the Desate family. This trade was meant to symbolize the coming together of the two families. Of course, the trade was just part of the ceremony. The diamond necklace would remain in Lady Aslan's possession after the wedding. The plans for the wedding were all going smoothly, and the wedding seemed like it would be a happy one until, let me guess, the necklace was stolen? That's right, the much beloved princess, the priceless heirloom of the Chaston family, was stolen last night when the household was asleep. Lady Aslan had made I'm just gonna call you Io, because there's no way I'm gonna fucking pronounce that correctly. Io came to my guild this morning the moment the sun went up. She told me to put up a notice on the board outside asking if any adventurers could help search for the missing necklace. Anybody who finds it is to be rewarded a handsome sum of 10,000 gold pieces. 10,000 gold pieces? Are you sure? As sure be. What? As sure can be. But that with 10,000 pieces, you never need to work ever again. You'd be set for life. Fion might sound excited, but the money doesn't really interest me. I'm already rich. I have so many gold coins, I don't know what to do with them. I think I'd want to accept this quest even if there wasn't a reward, though. It sounds a lot more interesting than picking berries. There is one fact that perplexes me, though. Why did the butler of the Desate family ask you to take the request down? If the diamond necklace is needed for the wedding ceremony, the Desate should want to recover it as quickly as the Chastens. That's what I thought, and that's what I said. But the estate butler was stern. He said asking the public to help with a private matter like this was embarrassing. He said the estate would find the necklace on their own, without any interference from filthy adventurers. Madai makes little quotation marks with her fingers. He was such a snob, it was unbearable. But you refused to take down the quest? Of course I did. I don't want to spend a single second of my day listening to a man like that. Why should I let him frighten me into submission? I'm doing what I think is right. The necklace belongs to Lady Aslan, and if she wants to ask my guild for help, then I won't turn her down. The Destates can keep out of it. So, you say the Destates are involved in this matter too? It's a complicated situation, but I can understand how Destate must feel. Making the thief of such a priceless heirloom public is rather embarrassing. But surely they should put embarrassment to one side for the greater good. I agree with Lady Aslan. The necklace needs to be found, and it needs to be found quickly. Putting up a public advertisement would be the best way to ensure it's uncovered in the time for the wedding. But be that as it may, I do wonder how such a priceless object was stolen in the first place. You'd think the Chaston family would take greater care of their possessions. I would never let anybody steal one of my lady's necklaces. My lady? Oh, it's nothing. I was just talking to myself. And speaking of people talking to themselves... 10,000 gold pieces! Who could turn an offer like that down? Think of all the meat I'll be able to buy. And now I'm getting hungry. Naturally, Fion doesn't care about political intrigue. She's far more concerned with her belly. I wonder if I should give my thief girl a stern talk. She would benefit from a bit of discipline. But then again, how can I be cruel to her when she's that cute? Poke fun at Fion for being a simpleton. You really are simple. I smile at Fion indulgingly and pat the top of her head. And you wonder why I call you a puppy? Hey, I'm nothing like a puppy. I beg to differ. You're always thinking about your stomach. When you sniff out a juicy bone, you forget everything else. Well, I beg your pardon? Fion pouts and throws my hand off her head. I used to live in the streets, remember? I had to beg for scraps of food to get by. If I have a soft spot for food, it's 'cause I never had all that much of it growing up. I know. You don't need to make excuses for yourself, puppy. I told you I'm not. Anyway, I am rather interested in this missing necklace. In fact, I'm very interested. I thought you'd say that. You know me too well. But that's just the pleasantry, Madai. No matter how good she is at sniffing out secrets, doesn't know me at all. Then my party will accept this quest. I trust there are no objections. I always trust your leadership ability, miss. You're gonna hear her like grinding her teeth wanting to say milady like a good girl. As a knight, I can't let any thief go unpunished. Let's go for it! I ain't gonna turn my back on a reward like this! Then we're all in a mutual agreement. Let's try and solve this mystery. Ruh-roh, Raggy! She's like... Scoob Trans. Ruh-roh, Raggy! Where's my restaurant, Raggy? I'm sorry, just... sorry. Now, I wonder, would it be possible for commoners like us to meet with Lady Aslan? I would like to ask her a few questions. Oh, hello. See, at least this is fine. It covers up, like, it makes sense. It's basically the equivalent of mine, but, you know, less interesting. I saw like a shit post, right? It was like, we're cornered, Raggy. What are we going to do? It's like, I don't know, Scoob. Like, she's like, I don't know, Scoob, we're backed into a corner. Reggie, he's rocking me in the ass, Reggie. Ooh, Reggie's rocking me from behind. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this, Scoob. Help me, Reggie. He's railing my ass. Scoob, I don't feel comfortable with this, Scoob. Woo! You're weirding me out, Scoob. Raggy, rock me, Raggy. Help me, Raggy. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this, Scoob. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. Like, zoinks. I'm out of here. Raggy! Help me, Raggy! He's rocking me in her ass, Raggy! It was like a shit noise or whatever, so it fucking made me die of laughing because it was so fucking stupid. Nope, I'm out, Scoob. I'm not comfortable with this. I'm out. Help me, Raggy. So, are you the brave heroes who are going to find my missing necklace? Sorry, my brain's. I almost said missing. My brain slipped for a second. Sorry. I can't promise anything just yet, but I will do my best, my lady. No, I can't promise anything just yet, but I'll do my best, my lady. Addressing somebody else as my lady when I am the Dark Witch Viola, capable of flailing the flesh of the person's bones with a single snap of my fingers, feels rather strange. I'm more accustomed to people groveling at my feet than doing it myself. Still, I can't say I hate it. It's a new experience, and new experiences keep me young. My name is Violet, and I am an experienced adventurer. The girls with me are Fion, Neve, and Elena. We have completed many quests in Linton, and we would be happy to help you. Shit. My bad. I am at your service. I drop a neat courtesy and Neve glowers. Oh, I thought that was cutesy. I never thought I would live to see the day that my lady bowed before anybody else. Oh, she grubby. She adorable when you're jealous. That just makes you more lovable, I hope this lady understands what a great honor she has bestowed upon her. At least Neve has the foresight to mutter her objections under her breath so Aslan can't hear her. Elena, meanwhile, has been unfamiliarly polite during our brief stay at the Chastens' home. Elena is calm, level-headed woman in general, and I knew I could count on her to behave herself. As for Fion, meanwhile, wow, this place is amazing. I thought she would be grown to accustomed to luxury, having lived in the Nightmare Citadel for so long, but apparently not. She gawks at Aslan's large, airy drawing room like a child in a candy store, her mouth open. This is so nice! All these little glass ornaments must have cost a fortune. They were rather expensive, yes? Aslan's maid, an elderly woman with high cheekbones and grey hair, frowns. My lady, are you sure about this? What do you mean, Aya? I know you said you would accept the help of any adventurer willing to find your necklace, but these people, well, I'm not trying to insult your judgment, my lady, but I doubt they'll be much of use. This girl, Fion, did they say her name was, is barely wearing any clothes. The maid gives Fion a disapproving look. And this girl is a darkling. She now turns to Neve. You watch your mouth very carefully. Otherwise I'll make sure there's not a single person to remember you when I'm done with you. You understand me? If your parents were still alive, my lady, they would be livid. Everybody in Asf knows you can't trust the darklings. Neve grits her teeth together. She's used to comments like this, of course. People always whisper about her when they see her in the streets, but I doubt that makes it any easier. Off with her fingers. You know, no. Cut off 2 of her fingers on each hand and then take out all 4 of her fang canine teeth. See how you can eat without that, bitch? Fortunately, Aslan doesn't seem to share her maid's prejudice. Don't be so cruel, Io. She may be a darkling, but she looks like she wants to help. You're too kind-hearted, miss. Don't forget, it was a darkling like her who tried to bring ruin to the world centuries ago. I'm going to kill this maid, and there won't be a fucking thing any of you in this room can stop me. These are like role reversals, so like usually it's everyone, like me and everyone trying to calm Neve down, but now it's the reverse of them trying to hold me back from burning her fucking skeleton into a charred remain. That's just the story, Io. All stories have a basis in truth, my lady. True or not, that happened long before any of us were born. I'm happy to welcome these girls into my home if they truly mean to help me. Darkling or not, I'm sure this girl has a kind heart. That, or a lust for money. I'm going to fucking take her eyes out. I will break every bone in your body, take every teeth out of your mouth, dislocate every joint in your bones. You'll be a pile of mush, and the only thing that'll be left is your tongue, gargling, calling for help. But nobody came. They won't find you. They won't even remember you. I, the great dark witch Viola, with all these spells and magic, you think I don't have a memory erasing gun? Even if you escape and crawl back to your family, do you think they'll recognize your mangled corpse? Do you think they'll even recognize your daughter, a nephew, a cousin, or even a person? The strands on your hair will be cut. You look like a different person. Trust me, I won't leave your pretty gray hair. I won't scalp you, because that's what you have left. Everything else is rotting away, old, wrinkled, sour, sore. You have nothing left. And as they won't remember you, they'll simply replace you with another child. And only then will you truly be forgotten. So choose your words carefully, very fucking carefully. I'm sorry, I spaced out a bit. Either way, if she helps us, I have no objections to her being here. Aslan bows her head to Neve, her eyebrows furrowed. I'm sorry if we have offended you. Io doesn't mean any ill by it. She's simply... A sigh. Overprotective. Indeed, as the head maid of the Chaston family, I simply have my mistress' best interests at heart. Your mistress, Well, when you put it like that, I think I can understand. Please rest at ease, Miss Io. We will do our utmost to find your mistress's missing necklace. We heard about it from Madai, and we know full well how important it is. As a knight, you have my oath. Well, if we have a knight searching for the necklace, perhaps all is not lost. Oh, this bitch. I'm so glad you don't have a stride. I'm so glad you don't have a stride, because then no one will have to see the horrifying thing you will become once I'm done with you. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Both Neve and I know very powerful magic, and Elena is an accomplished knight. We've taken on many requests at the Adventurers Guild, and we completed all of them. We'll find your necklace for you, I promise. Well, that is rather reassuring. I was so worried. Thank you, brave adventurers, for heeding my call. Aslan launches into a small explanation about the missing necklace and its importance. She goes over the same information that Madai did, but one particular detail makes quite an impression on me. You must find my necklace within 3 days. That is the limit. If you can't return the necklace before the third night, when the moon has not yet risen, then all of this will be for nothing. My wedding to Siran and the peace treaty between my families and the estate, everything I've worked for will be destroyed. That's why you need to hurry. 3 days is all I can afford to wait. After our talk with Aslan, my party retreat to a nearby tavern so we can discuss the new information we've gained. My party of four sits right at the back of the building, keeping our voices low so nobody can overhear us. I don't think we're in any danger of that, though the other men in here, and it is mostly men who frequent this place, are so busy drunk, singing dirty songs or flirting with the buxom barmaids to pay us any attention. Neve sniffs and looks around disapprovingly, her eyes narrowed. I don't really know if a place like this is suitable for me, my lady. It's so rascarious. I decided to let that milady slide. I doubt Neve will blow my cover now, given nobody's listening. I know it's rascarious. That's why we came here, you silly goose. I'm a goose. It's better than being a dog. If everyone around us is talking, they won't be able to hear us when we talk. We should be able to discuss the curious matter of Aslan's missing necklace in peace. Oh, I see. How intelligent of you, my lady. I should have known. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that phrase. I would have fucking burned that other bitch to the ground. I do not care for the money, I just want her fucking head on a stick. It's fine if I can't have it. I'll simply take it by force. What are you gonna do? Stop me! Pardon me. Pooh. My genius is nothing to be sniffed at. I did get the highest grade in my class. Grades? Neve frowns. Do they not have schools in Asf? I have no idea how the education system in this world works. It never cropped up in Asf Online. Well, putting that one to the side, the business with this necklace is really curious. Aslan, I know that the distinct lack of title lady, being my loyal maid, Neve has no desire to capitulate to anybody other than me. Ah. Made it sound like finding that necklace is a matter of life or death. She was very intense. I thought that was rather peculiar too. No matter how expensive or important that necklace is, surely it's only a trinket. Whether we find the necklace or not, it should not stop the wedding ceremony processing, and yet Aslan made it sound as though being married was impossible without it. Perhaps that necklace is as important as the wedding ring. It could be a crucial part of the service. If that's the case, then couldn't the service be altered slightly? They are the two wealthiest, most influential families in Linton. The symbolic value of that necklace could be so great that it would put the entire wedding at risk. You remember what Madai said, don't you? That necklace is meant to be a symbol of the union between the Chaston and the Destate family. If the two are marrying, not for love but out of obligation, then a symbol of their union would be more important than anything else. You don't think Aslan is in love with her betrothed? I can't tell. Never having met the man in question, but I doubt it. She seemed more upset about the missing necklace than about the possibility of her wedding being postponed. A marriage out of duty rather than love. I suppose we can't know for sure unless we ask Aslan about it, but I wonder if he would tell us something so sensitive. It's a delicate situation. You're right. Any woman forced into an arranged marriage would be hesitant to talk about it. Oh, are you speaking from experience? My parents have often tried to match me with potential partners, yes. They're concerned that I'm getting old, but I still haven't found a husband. They say that they just want me to be happy, but I find it rather tiresome. I suppose I should appreciate their thoughtfulness, and I know they're only doing it because they care about me, but I don't want to get married to somebody I don't like, who I barely even know, simply to appease them. I'd rather marry somebody I love. Love? These are some very interesting words coming from Elena's mouth. Her blushing face is totally adorable, and it's even cuter because it's such a direct contrast with her usual personality. I wonder what I should say. Tease her. Well, when she's talking like such a maiden, there's no way I could pass up the chance like this. I want to make her blush even more, until her cheeks look like two delicious apples. That's strangely pure coming from you. What do you mean? It's strange? There's nothing wrong with marrying for love. Of course there isn't. In fact, I say that the only reason to get married, preparing a huge ceremony, sounds like such a headache. I'd have to really love somebody to go out of my way to do something so tedious. I didn't expect you, of all people, to come out with lines like fairy tale princesses. I thought you were too stern or serious to care about any sort of love. But have you been daydreaming of a perfect wedding this whole time? Not often, no, but, isn't that normal? Don't a lot of girls dream about having a perfect wedding? I could never afford to think about such ephemeral things when I was young. I used to live in the slums. My family was so poor we didn't have a single penny to rub together. I didn't have any time to think about love. I had to think about survival instead. Yes, well, I can see I was rather lucky in that regard, at least. But what about now, Neve? As your days of hardship and suffering are over, it might be possible for you to find a lover. A lover? Well, I don't rightly know if that would be a good idea, my lady. I'm only a darkling, and darklings aren't very popular in Asf. Most humans keep their distance. They think we're bad news, or maybe we are. I don't know. It seems unlikely that anybody would ever want to marry me, and I'm not that interested in most people. Are there any exceptions? There's one exception, but... Neve's looking at me from beneath her eyelashes. What a cute gesture, though it isn't particularly subtle. Subtlety has never been one of Neve's strong points. I don't know if our relationship could ever truly work. I'm nothing but a maid, after all. It would be presumptuous of me to even dream that she would return my feelings. I'm content being a servant. I could never be her equal. We're far too different. Neve looks a little sad. I wonder if I should say something. Why would you ignore her? Comfort Neve. Well, you never know. That mistress of yours might just return your feelings someday. Do you really think so? Do I have a chance? If you keep pulling adorable faces like that, maybe. Adorable, Neve presses her fingers against her burning cheeks. I don't know if I am. I mean, I'm only a darkling. I have horns and a tail, and I know it must look strange to most humans, but... I love her so much. I just... She's too precious. Like, sure, you may have horns and a tail, but, like, does that really make you any different from me? Just imagine, what if we, like, race it to a different, like, race, like, I'm fine with your horns and tail, but if you're a fucking elf, that's a different question. So, like, this whole game, like, where's a good present, but we just unbelievably race it to, like, other beastmen and shit. Not canon, by the way, I'm not saying this version of Charlotte is, I'm simply saying what if, you know. But if you feel that way, then I'm glad you have such peculiar taste, my lady. That fills me with a little bit of confidence. And that cute girlish giggle, compelled with her red cheeks, really is too much. Oh my fucking... If I ever get more of this game, it's only for Neve. Neve supremacy all the way. She's so adorable. I want to reach out across the table and give her a hug, but I don't think that this is the right time to for shows of affection. Fuck. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. I think I think there must be more to Aslan's predicament than it seems. She's attached such importance to the necklace. It might be more than a family heirloom. Okay, let me go see if there's anything to eat. BRB. It's a symbol. I already said that. I know you did. But I wouldn't worry myself over a mere symbol. I wonder. I cast my mind back to the day when I first met Fion. She was kneeling on the ground, on her hands and knees, crying. She told us she'd lost her mother's ring, which she intended to sell at the market so she could feed her starving family. It was a crook of lives. Fion's mother died a long time ago, and her only surviving relative is a quick-thinking thief called Holly. But I didn't know that at the time. Duped, I searched for the ring with Fion, and while searching, Fion stole my very valuable necromancer's ruby necklace from my pocket. That necklace, though it looks like any other piece of highly expensive jewelry, has a fearsome secret. Yeah, we've been over this, you know, seen this, It doesn't mean it doesn't look any, less good, golly. I wish my thighs would be juicy and fat like that and shine in the sun. It's enchanted, as the name suggests, by a powerful piece of magic which lets its wielder raise the dead. In Asf, old and expensive jewels are often used as containers for powerful spells. Enchanted rings, brooches, bracelets, and necklaces of all rather common. Could it be? I wonder if that necklace of Aslan's has some kind of spell on it. What makes you say that, my lady? Nothing, I was just thinking out loud. But one thing did strike me as rather peculiar. What? Aslan stressed we only had 3 days to find that necklace, but judging from what Madai said, her wedding is next week. Why did she set 3 days as the absolute limit? It seems rather arbitrary. It could have something to do with the ceremony. Maybe there are things that need to be arranged beforehand. Maybe. Well, we might... well, it might not be important. It just stuck in my mind, that's all. What do you think, Fion? Huh? Just shoving food, in her mouth. I turned to look at the little thief girl who's been unusually quiet for the last half hour. The moment I see her, however, I jinxed it, didn't I? I love the little markings across her body. I don't know why, it's just... Bon appetit. I just imagine she bites into that, it makes like a fucking Tom and Jerry scream. Ah! I understand why. While the three of us were having a boring adult conversation, Fion must have gotten bored, and in her boredom, she flagged down a passing waiter. The table before her is now piled high with all kinds of different foods. There are steaming meat pies, legs of mutton, roasted potatoes, various soups, and a large tray of fruit. Fion grasps a knife and fork in her hands and face down the food with a resolve fit for a warrior. This looks so good. I'm gonna eat until I burst. She tries to attack the leg of the chicken with her fork, but her grip is a little off. I guess Fion isn't accustomed to handling cutlery. She was homeless for several years because she drops the knife and fork on the floor with a clatter. Oh, whoops! How embarrassing. How'd Viola teach me how to eat with a knife and fork again? Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll use my fingers. So saying, Fion picks up a greasy leg of chicken with one hand and starts attacking it with her teeth. Do you guys... do you guys not eat chicken with your hands? Like, genuine question, because I think with like, whenever, like, whether it's, I haven't tried turkey, but usually it's like some sort of chicken, right? And even whether it's from KFC or like, you know, the chicken she has, like cuts little pieces, but usually, well, I mean, I guess it depends if it's solid, right? If it's solid, like, I don't know how to explain it, but basically, like, you know the things at KFC that aren't drumsticks, but it's kind of like that. If it's like that, then we would use our hands, but I'm pretty sure if it's like just a pork, or like, you know, like just the skin, or like, you know, not a full bit, we would use our knife and forks. It's hard to describe what I'm talking about. But like, we usually just have like chicken. We don't have like the chicken she has. We usually just have chicken, and we usually just use our hands. Is that not normal? I'm sorry, you've been staying with me for a fucking month and you haven't got like your whole outfit fixed up. Your thing looks like it's in tatters. So saying, Fion picks up a greasy leg of chicken in one hand and starts attacking it with her teeth. This is so good. I haven't had a delicious hunk of meat like this in a while. The skin's so nice and crispy, and it's so tender. Her pearly white teeth dig into the chicken leg, and juices trickle down her chin. Wow, it's so yummy. I'm in heaven. If this is what being dead like, then I'll take it. We're not impressed. The court has determined your judgment, Frog. What? Wait, hold on! Ah! Grab it. I just hope she's planning to pay for all of that. If she wants to know what being dead is like, I'd be more than happy to educate her. Oh, she's grumpy. She's not happy. How dare she sorry. How dare she sit there stuffing her face when we're all trying so hard? I can understand why Neve's angry, right? But I don't want her picking more fights with Fion. if we're going to solve this difficult quest, we need to work together. That means we can't afford to bicker amongst ourselves like children. I keep thinking about that shit post of like he's wrecking me in the ass, Raggy. But I swear, if I try and type up meme video, Scooby-Doo monster fucks Scooby in the ass and Shaggy leaves uncomfortable. Ow, that's not gonna help me in the slightest. Only gonna fucking. I don't think it would put me on like a watch list, but like it would definitely be on a. Oh, the fucking weird recommendation they would try and give you. Like, no, this isn't even close to what. I'm pretty sure that's just cropped Scooby-Doo porn. Like, what the fuck is this on? Why is this on YouTube? This isn't even what I was looking for. How did I get here? Because like there is a lot of fucking like it'll have YouTube. There's a lot of like things where they'll crop porn in the thumbnail, or like some like porn animation, and before it gets to the fucking, it's like that like some character would punch to the screen and it's like a transition or whatever. My mind telling me no, but my body telling me yes. What should I say? Tell Neve to get a hold of herself. This is the whole thing with John Doe. I'm simping. I don't care. Like it's like, oh, how could anyone simp? But then you have characters like this, and it's like anything you request. Oh, but maybe if I agree with her, then I can also punish her, you know? I think you're probably right, Neve. Fion. I turned to the scrappy thief girl, who's busy cramming food down her gullet like a greedy seagull. I know you enjoy your food, but we're trying to have a serious conversation. I would appreciate it if you could at least try to make an effort. That's alright. If you can't offer at least a little input, then you have no right to travel with us. I can't believe you would show Milady such disrespect.
No? What?
Fion blinks, her lips and cheeks greasy from chicken fat, and wipes her mouth with the back of her arm. Sorry, I was kinda distracted. What were you talking about again? Oh, you're impossible. I just imagine she reaches over the table and grabs her by the cheek, but like holding her so hard, she lifts her up into the air. Now listen here, you little shit. I'm fucking tired of you. She wouldn't say that. Neve slams her palm against the table, so all the plates of food, goblet of fruit juices, at least I think fruit juices, rattle. We're talking about the necklace, of course. What else? Oh, right. I should have figured. Fion laughs and runs a greasy hand through her now greasy hair. I resist the urge to shudder. Why is this girl so slovenly? It wasn't like she was born in a barn. Once upon a time, she was a respectable member of the middle-class merchant family, though you wouldn't think of it at the looks of her. Sorry. I'll try and pay attention from now on. See to it that you do, or you'll be very sorry indeed. This is your first and last warning. If you don't pay attention, I'll have to punish you. Punish me? You ain't gonna take my food away from me, are ya? Oh no, it'll be far more extreme than that. What do you think about that? Fion shudders from the top of her messy blonde head right down to her toes. That's scary. I can be a pretty scary person when I want to be, Fion. Have you forgotten? Sorry, my lady, I'll do my best from now on. See that you do, or you'll be very sorry indeed. Neve's like, it's not fair! It should have been me, not her! It's not fair! After a brief stop at the local tavern, which cost a lot more money than I would have liked, my group split up to ask questions around the streets of Linton. Sorry, I just thought... Kept getting fucking... Wait, what? What the fuck? We're looking for information about the missing necklace, but nobody seems to know anything. Most people know it's missing. I suppose news travels fast around here. No doubt thanks to Maddie and her big mouth. Pardon me. But nobody saw any mysterious figure in the city last night, and nobody heard anything unusual. You know, I bet it's that fucking maid, her maid, that doesn't want her to marry, or you know, the best, and it's like really gonna fuck over the whole thing because she knows that her mistress is unhappy. Last night, and nobody heard anything unusual. The night falls, and the four of us reunite once more in the tavern. So, did any of you learn anything useful? Not a thing. I must confess, I did not discover new facts either. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my lady. I did try hard, believe me, I did, but I am also empty-handed. I hope you can forgive me for disappointing you, but I would understand it if you didn't. As a maid, it is my duty to fulfill your request, and yet Neve sniffs. Though I can't see her face, her voice sounds rather thick. She isn't going to cry, is she? Oh, Neve, you don't need to apologize so much. I don't? Of course not. You always try your best for my sake. I have no reason to believe that today is any different. None of us were able to glean anything new. You're not the only one. But that makes my failure even worse now. If I only had tried a little harder, then... You don't need to be so hard on yourself. We still have 2 more days, remember? Ah, that's right. 2 days, of course. I'll work even harder tomorrow to ensure that we find that missing necklace. That's the spirit. Now, I don't know about you, but I hope the fuck you do. I'm sorry. I don't know about you, but I'm getting rather tired. I didn't want to say anything, but my limbs do feel somewhat heavy. That's probably because I beat you up so spectacularly this morning, my stubborn knight. I don't know if it was quite that one-sided. I love how she's trying to hide behind Neve. It was, believe me. And what about the rest of you? Are you ready for sleep? If you wish to sleep, my lady, then I can think of no greater pleasure than sleeping beside you. Ah! Right in the fuck. Not that we need to share the same bed. That would be highly improper. I just mean, there would be no greater pleasure for me as your maid than being afforded the opportunity to watch you sleep soundly. I'll do everything I can to ensure you have a comfortable night's rest. You can even use me as a pillow if you wish. I love her so much. Genuinely. I love her. Just genuinely. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but thank you for the offer. And you, Fion? Well, about that. I do feel kind of tired now that you mention it. In fact, I felt kind of tired all evening. Have you felt tired after you ingested all those fruits and meats without my lady's permission, I may add? Ah, that's right. I've been feeling all slow and sluggish ever since then. How'd you know that? Huh. It's simple. You used to be a common thief girl, and you're still not used to eating such rich, plentiful meals. You consume much, much more than your body can handle, and now it's having an adverse effect on you. I guess that makes sense, whatever you said. My tummy feels kinda weird. My tummy hurt. My tummy hurt. And it's making some strange noises. If you shit yourself right now, I'm telling you now, if you shit yourself in my presence, you were sleeping outside, I don't care. That's only natural. Shame on you for being such a glutton. This is your punishment. I wonder why Neve looks so gleeful about Fion's suffering. My maid acts so submissive when she's with me, but she can be unapologetically brutal when she's dealing with others. I've often wondered whether she possesses a sadistic streak herself. Well, it seems we're all ready for bed. I swear, if you shit the bed, I'm going to hit you with a newspaper made out of tree bark. I swear to God, pardon me. My castle is rather too far away for us to return to, and it's too dark to walk back through the forest. We need to be in the city early tomorrow morning so we can search for the necklace, so I glance around at my assembled company. Why don't we book a room in an inn tonight? Huh? Neve was opposed to the idea, as I knew she would be. She spluttered, obviously alarmed, and said words to effect of, "An inn? But you can't stay in an inn, my lady. They're miserable, dirty places run by apathetic staff who don't clean half as much as they should." When I assured Neve it would be fine, her rebuttal only grew more and more impassioned. "Other people have slept in those beds, you know. Their filthy bodies and their filthy hair strained those sheets and those pillows. I can't let you debase yourself by lying in a bed which has already been used. You're far too good for that." But despite Neve's not entirely practical protest, she was outnumbered. In the end, my party booked one of the largest rooms in the nearest inn. This inn is far more pleasant than Neve's fearful portraits. The beds are clean, the linen smells fresh, and the wooden fire has been swept free of dirt. That didn't stop Neve from dusting everything for an hour after we arrived, though. Fion passed out the moment her head hit the pillow. Neve didn't bother dusting her covers free of lint, and Elena went outside, her sword in hand, to train a little more in the forest. Now it's just me and Neve. Part of me wants to follow Elena to the forest, but it's getting late, and I know I should let myself relax. I'm curious about what sort of training Elena is doing at this hour, but I can always ask her about it tomorrow. Fighting back a yawn, I take a seat on the side of my freshly made bed, begin to divest myself of my clothes. I sound like one of those baby zombies. I strip off my gown and then my scarf, and then begin to work on my socks. Golly. If only I had more stylish nightgown attire. It doesn't have to be sexy, it just... I think it's more of the polka dot things, like the dots that bother me rather than like the see-through thing. A quiet moment. Neve watches as I slide my socks down my leg, exposing inch after inch of pale skin. I didn't know you were so captivated by my legs, Neve. You're so pretty, my lady. There's nothing in the world I love more. Neve answers my question quickly, her tone so earnest it's obvious she's never it's obvious she's never even considered the possibility of lying. Neve's always honest with herself and her desire. No matter how red her face might get, she never responds to my queries with lies or half-truths, and she never attempts to preserve her own dignity. Not when I'm involved, at least. I find her straightforward nature rather charming. She's certainly different from Elena, who responds to my teasing question by blushing and turning her head away. I guess Elena's pretty straightforward too, but only when she's fighting. When it comes to her feelings, she gets woefully tongue-tied. That's what I like about you, Neve. What do you mean, my lady? I know where I stand with you. You always make your feelings for me apparent. If only everyone else could be as truthful. But I suppose that would grow rather boring. You think I'm boring? Now, Neve, I never once said that. Didn't I just say that I appreciate you? You're the first true companion I made in Asp, and you're the dearest to me. I care about you a great deal. Oh, my lady. I care about you too. There's nothing more important to me than your happiness. Foo. Well, isn't that sweet? I know something that would make me rather happy right now. Yes? What is it, my lady? Just say the word and I'll do anything. Undressing myself is such a hassle, especially when it's so late in the night. Would you be so kind to help me? Of course, right away. I'll do anything you could ever dream of asking me, my lady. My body exists so that I serve you. My very being belongs to you. Golly. She kind of startled me for a second. Because I didn't know, like, I thought, like, her fingers were like my toes. Like, it wasn't, like it was taken off. My brain had to process. it's like I'm gonna say something, and it's not in a sexual way, right? But I really want to pull on her horns just to like tease her and like, you know, play with her and just see her reaction, but not like in a sexual way, but just to see her face, like how she would react, you know? Like, I could be rough, I could be gentle and apologize, gently rub them, making them more sensitive. With this obedient oath, I could get used to hearing that more often. Neve kneels down at my feet and begins to remove my stockings for me. She eases them off my skin gently, taking care not to scrape the underside of my foot with her long fingernails. She is? What do you mean long fingernails? The fuck are you talking about? Look, I'm sorry, I got a little defensive. I don't know why. Because I'm trying to grow out my fingernails, but like, I have a problem with picking at them. Ah! Fuck, that's bright! Fucking flashbang! Fucking warning! Fuck! Just imagine like, it's just like, imagine a like CSGO porn animation, right? And it's like flowing flashbang, and it's just a woman character like flashing like her naked body, and it's like blinding the fucking enemy, and it's like planting bomb. It was like not. What is the opposite where like terrorists win, but like the other side? I can't remember. I sigh softly as my feet are finally free from their confines. I wiggle my toes, delighting in the cool air that caresses them. Neve, still kneeling on the ground, looked at my feet, enraptured. I don't really understand the appeal of feet myself. They get so red and sore after one's been walking too long. But Neve did say she loved every part of me. Neve? Yes, my lady? What is it? My feet feel rather tired. Would you mind massaging them for me? Of course. I wouldn't mind. It would be my pleasure. Neve takes a hold of my feet between her long, slender fingers and begins to exert just the slightest amount of pressure. Her fingers massage the ball of my ankle slowly, carefully, as she works at a knot of stress beneath the surface of my skin. I shift slightly on the bed, enjoying the sensation. Neve really is good at giving massages. It's one of her special skills. I'm not moaning. A few soft moans spill from my lips. I don't really mean to make any noises, but I can't help myself. I didn't realize quite how tired my feet were until Neve started massaging me. How is it, my lady? Now, what should I say? Neve's looking at me so earnestly. A part of me wants to poke fun at her, but I don't want to trample her dedication in the mud either. Should I be honest? Compliment Neve sincerely. There's plenty of times to like tease her, but you know, there's not many times like this, so I'll be honest. It feels good. You like it? Yes. Your fingers are amazing. I'm glad. I never thought I was amazing at anything myself. In fact, I've always believed I'm incredibly average. Average be damned, you're looking fine. If you're average, I'm gonna be an average fucker. That's why it makes me so happy when you praise me. I can't help but think if a wonderful woman like you appreciates me, perhaps there might be something special about me after all. Ah. Neve's cheeks turned pink. She glanced down at my feet, focusing all of her attention once more on the massage. I'm sorry for being so selfish, my lady. As your maid, I shouldn't be talking about myself. I should be serving you. No, it's fine. Another soft gasp is wrested from my lips as Neve's probing fingers set to work on the sides of my feet, where my boots were pinching my calves. I like hearing you talk about yourself. Really? It's interesting. That's very kind of you, my lady. But I doubt a darkling like myself could interest you. I'm not strong, I'm not brave, and I'm not beautiful. My kind is hated throughout Asf, and nobody trusts me. You saw how that maid treated me. To regular humans, even half-breeds, I'm considered a danger. Oh, Neve. What is it? If you really were dangerous, do you think I would have hired you as my maid? I thought you were just taking pity on me. Hardly. I'm not that kind, you know. But you are kind. Neve affirms, her fingers digging a little more firmly into my skin. You were very, very kind to me, and that's why I want to devote my life to you. You saved me and my family, gave me somewhere to stay, and food to eat, and fine clothes to wear. You're my mistress, yes, but you treat me like a friend, though I don't deserve it. I promise you, whoever put these thoughts in your head, from wherever they are, I will hunt them down to the ends of the earth. Whatever I'm going to do to them, or whatever is going to become of them, I don't know yet. But I know it is going to be severe, and they're going to wish for death itself to take them away. Oh, but do you really think death can take away a soul from the great dark witch Viola? What a wretched fool you think you are. Because you are just so precious. You may not think you are, but you are so dear and precious to me. I love you with every inch of my being, every fiber of who I am. You are just so precious to me. And if anything happens to you, this world will be set aflame. I can promise you that. You help me so much. I want to return the favor. Favor. I have to. Now we're no longer in public, putting up a facade. Neve can be as defensive as she wants. Maybe she missed acting as my maid during the day because she's being more loyal and attentive to my needs than ever before. Her eyes hold such deep, obvious love for me that her mere gaze is making my skin prickle. This maid, the love she holds for me is undeniable. I don't think I've ever seen anybody stare at me with such adoring eyes before. I'm not particularly smart, but I'll do my best to help you find that necklace. I'll stay by your side no matter what, even though... I look at Neve curiously. My maid's fingers have stilled, though she's staring at my feet. It's like she isn't seeing them. This is rare for Neve. I've never seen her space out while serving me before. Is something on your mind? Ah! Neve jumps as though she's been pricked by a pin. Her eyes widen and then her cheeks flush with embarrassment. Oh, no, there's nothing wrong, really, but lately I've felt somewhat strange. Strange? What precisely do you mean by that? It's hard to explain, but I'm not sure if I really understand it myself. It's like I can hear a voice inside my head, only the voice doesn't belong to me. It's a woman's voice, but it's a woman I've never heard before. It's not my mother's or my grandmother's voice either. It's a voice I don't know, but at the same time it feels like I do know it. My memory has no recollection of this voice but my body, my heart and my bones and my blood. My very being, it feels like it knows it and it remembers. Neve's brow furrows. I suppose that must sound peculiar to you. That is rather strange, yes. When did you start hearing this voice, Neve? I'm not sure. It happened gradually first. I could only hear disjointed whispers, but now, when it is quiet and it is dark outside, I can hear the voice saying words, sometimes whole sentences. I can hear it very clearly. And what is it saying, Neve? It's saying... Neve looks down at the floor. I can see her long eyelashes fluttering. Silence reigns in the inn, broken only by the shallow sound of Fion's snores and the wind that rattles at the window panes. I look at the top of Neve's dark head. It isn't like her to be so quiet. Usually when I ask a question, she replies immediately. What in the world is going on? What is this voice, and what has it been saying to her? Neve? I prompt her. Though my voice is gentle, it makes Neve shudder like fingernails scraping length of a chalkboard might. The voice is saying, don't try and struggle. The end will soon be upon us. The end? I repeat this ominous prophecy, a frown on my face. But what does this mean? Does it have anything to do with Elena and I were summoned to Asf? I don't know. I have no idea, but the voice is getting clearer and clearer by the day. I thought nothing of it at first, but now it's starting to worry me. If the end really is going to befall us, then I don't want to leave your side. I want to be with you forever. Oh, Neve. I shake my head. Don't be silly. I'm not going anywhere. You're not? Of course not. And neither are you. I'm your mistress, and you're my trusty maid, and we're going to stay together no matter what. Isn't that what you said? It's what I want more than anything. Then I see no reason why your wish can't come true. This voice you've been hearing is rather disturbing. Yes, I may admit. But I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll solve this mystery together, like we're going to find that missing necklace. I have faith in us. It'll work hard to help you. I'll work hard to help you, my lady. I won't let your reputation be tarnished by failing to complete this quest. I knew I could rely on you. You're such a good girl. I pat the top of Neve's head, and she's almost melts beneath my fingers. Still, we don't have much time left. 2 days, I think it's foreshadowing of, like, if we do find the end, right? It's more like of when we leave, it kind of ends this free thinking thing back to being a proper NPC. I glance outside the open window. The curtains are still dawn, and I can see the stars sparkling in the night sky. It's a very clear night, quite unlike the foggy nights I'm accustomed to in Tokyo. I can see all the constellation in great detail. Holy shit, is that the green pea shooter plant from Plants vs. Zombie? What the fuck? I can even see the moon, round and white and almost perfectly full. Almost, but not quite. Is it not? Looks full to me. My brow furrows. It'll be a full moon in a couple of days. But that's our deadline to find and return Aslan's necklace. Will we be able to complete our quest by then? Of course I can. I'm the main fucking character. I certainly hope so. But the next day, to my disappointment, yield no further information about the missing necklace. The four of us even go to the ancestral home of the noble Destates family to ask questions about the upcoming wedding, but we're stemmed at the front gates by the butler. Halt! Who goes there? The butler looks at my ragtag party with evident disdain. He doesn't even try to disguise his displeasure. If he knew I was the Dark Witch of Viola, I'm sure he'd soon learn the error of his ways. But I can't afford to throw away my disguise. I know full well if I cause a commotion, I'll never be allowed back in the Linton again. Then I won't be able to complete Aslan's request and find her necklace. And so it is, after a long pause, I offer the butler a neat courtesy and say as sweetly as I can muster. It's me, Violet. I'm the leader of this group of adventurers who have taken on the request of the guild to find Chastine's missing necklace. Adventurers, is it? The butler pulls a face at the word adventurer, as though there's something foul. I apologize! Though he doesn't sound very apologetic. But adventurers, as you term yourselves, are not permitted into the estate's household. Huh? And why not? Is it not obvious? The estate family is a noble one who have lived in the Linton for generations. They are descended from royalty and such. It would dirty their lineage to associate with riff-raffs. What you calling me? Fion, please, this isn't helping. Now, I understand that you may be hesitant to allow strangers into your home, but this matter, I'm afraid, is rather urgent. Lady Aslan has entrusted us with finding her missing necklace. I was hoping that you would be able to place your trust in us too. If we are to find this artifact before the wedding, we need to question your master. He may be able to provide us with information Lady Aslan cannot. I don't doubt that. My master is sharp as they come. He knows everything that happens in Linton. Then, if we could see him, if only for a few minutes. But I'm afraid that would be a few minutes too many. The master is a particular man, and he does not like to be disturbed. Least of all by dirty-faced ruffians. Hey, I made sure to wash my face this morning. Oh, by darklings. What did you say? I would like you to repeat yourself. Please, go ahead. You call yourself a butler, but by the looks of me, your dick is missing. And he's bleeding out. Good job. Neve, who remained rather silent in this exchange, hangs her head. This is a repeat of what happened yesterday, but this butler, unlike Io, is even more merciless with his words. I can't help but feel sorry for Neve. What did she do to deserve this treatment? Excuse me, my good sir. I face the butler down. My general smile doesn't flicker, but my voice takes on a sternly edge. But what has my darkling companion done to you? You barely know her, and I feel it is rather unfair to say such cruel things about her. Hey! You were saying cruel things about me too. Ain't you gonna defend my honor? Silence, puppy. I flick Fion in the forehead. Oh, Fion. The adults are talking. Ow! Fion recoils, pressing her hand against the rather impressive welt that's beginning to bloom on her forehead. She pouts. I wish you wouldn't do that. The butler draws himself to his full height. He looks unamused. Perhaps it is just prejudice of me, I admit, but I don't trust darklings. They're a race full of murderers and brigands. Brigades? So you're saying you don't trust her just because of what her race is commonly known for? Ooh. Say goodbye to your kneecaps, chuckle nuts. If I let this girl into my master's home, I can't imagine what would happen. I don't want to imagine it. She'd be off with half the china, I presume, and whatever gold coin she can carry on her hands. Get her hands on. I wouldn't, sir. I might be a darkling, but I'm not a thief. My parents raised me well. I would never rob from anybody. I have no need. You can protest your innocence all you want, but it comes to your kind, it's best not to take any chances. Well, he isn't exactly wrong about there being a thief in our midst, but Neve isn't the one he should be pointing fingers at. I'm sorry, but I can't let you see my master. That is final. But Lady Aslan lets us speak to her. Why can you not offer us the same courtesy? Because Lady Aslan has always been rather too trusting. I fear she's a kind girl, but not the most intelligent. She has done little to preserve the Chasten's lofty name after her parents' death, that is. Why the Chastens are no longer respected by the estates. Lady Aslan may have no qualms opening up her home to all who have wandered off the streets, but the estates are cut from a different cloth. And the diamond necklace? Don't you care that it's missing? And the diamond necklace, don't you care that it's missing? Of course I care that it is missing. Finding it, like you said yourself, is a urgent issue. Then why don't you let us help you? We want to find the necklace too. I'm sure that you do, so that you can sell it on the black market. No, I wouldn't. And you shan't get the chance, because the noble estates are taking their own measures to search for the necklace. As you can see, we have no need for your services. Now, I'll ask you one more time to leave the premises. If you fail to comply, I might have to use force. The butler rolls up his sleeves. I can see that he's serious about this. It's not like I'm afraid of this old man. An aqua spell is hardly enough to take down a dark witch, but I can see arguing with him further will be impossible. I could break all of the bones in his body and enter the estate home by force. But that wouldn't make a very good impression. I guess it's time to cut our losses. Alright everyone, we should retreat for now. A good decision! At least one member of your group has some common sense! But he insulted us! Are you really gonna let that slide? We have no choice. There's nothing we can do. Pah! Fion spits on the ground. It's not a very ladylike gesture. The butler winces, but it gets her to stain across nicely. There's always something we can do. It ain't like you to give up. I'm not giving up, little puppy. Giving up does not exist in my dictionary. Then why did you say it? Then what are we going to do? We can find the necklace on our own without the help of the estate family. Now that they turned us away, I'm even more determined to solve this case. Ha! I would wish you luck, but it is entirely unnecessary. We'll find the necklace before you can. And what makes you so sure about that? Hmm? You are nothing more than a band of vagabonds. The conclusion is set in stone. Well, I wonder. I look the butler up and down my brow furrows. This old man is hiding something. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that much. I just wonder what that something is. I kind of imagine the butler's like built like Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins. Kind of like, not when the sun's fully up, but like, so like he's still buff and ripped in his like regular clothing, but not too fucking bulky type, you know, built. When the night begins to fall, my party return to Lady Aslan home to relay the bad news to her. She looks at us eagerly when Io ushers us into the living room, her eyes shining with hopeful curiosity. So what happened? Did you find the necklace? Aslan is so wound up she completely forgot her manners. She doesn't address us politely and she doesn't invite us to sit down. Even Io, who I doubt likes us very much, is shocked by her conduct. Aslan, aren't you going to inquire about our guest's health first? As the only surviving member of the Chaston family, you should be more considerate. Your parents taught you better than this. Oh, I'm very sorry. You're absolutely right, Io. In my haste, I forgot myself. It's alright, I don't mind. Personally, I find your enthusiasm charming. You may find it charming. Io shoots me a nasty glare. Seriously, what is it with old-fashioned servants giving my party evil eyes today? But the world can hardly accept a catapult to all your wants and whims, my most esteemed guest. I don't know, my brain had a stroke. Aslan is the head of the Cheston family. It is her duty to act in a dignified manner, as it is befitting of a lady of her social status. Suck my balls. A failure to perform her duties will reflect poorly upon her entire bloodline, not to mention her servants. Lapasses and etiquette may not mean much to you, but they are the height of importance to us. If my lady forgot her manners, her marriage to the estate may even be called off. I don't know why you want to marry into such a scuffy family myself. We tried to go in and see him today, but that butler turned us away at the gates. He didn't even let us inside, and he was so rude too. That is because the estate are very strict. You should have expected that. I don't think I like your tone. Neve, take her tits. Snaps my fingers. Neve, check for balls, because she's giving me quite the attitude. Balls located. Neve, remove balls. Snaps my fingers again. Neve, hand them back to her. But Aslan seems really nice. Why couldn't Lord High Estate? Fion makes dismissive quotation marks with her fingers, or whatever he's called, offer us the same courtesy. The eldest son of the Desade family is called Saren, not Lord High Estate, and it is not my place to comment on my mistress's betrothed. It might not be your place, but you don't like him, do ya? My feeling towards Master Saren is neither here or there. And what about you, Aslan? You don't like Saren, do ya? I mean, I don't really know. I have only met him on a handful of occasions. I suppose he was charming enough. You mean you're gonna marry somebody you hardly know? It might sound silly, but that's how weddings are usually conducted between members of nobility. And that doesn't upset you? My feelings are immaterial. This wedding has to happen, whether I want it or not. It has to. Damn, getting flashbacks to the Seduce Me. I'm still pissed at that fucking game. And I can't blame anyone but myself for the ending I got. Ah! Oh, whoa! Sorry, light's flickering. Hey, you don't sound too enthused to me. Fact, you sound more like a lamb being led to the slaughter than a blushing bride. I'm merely fulfilling my duties, that is all. Aslan's words, though noble, are rather constrained. Fion's right. She really doesn't sound happy. She isn't happy about this wedding at all. That being the case, why is she so determined to get her diamond necklace back? It can't be because of the wedding. Aslan, determined though she is, sounds like she would sooner have her fingernails removed than be wed to Saren Estate. In that case, shouldn't she be happy about the missing diamonds? Might give her a reasonable ground to delay the wedding ceremony. Why, then, does she look so anxious? What is she afraid of? I don't understand. In any case, I'm rather curious about what progress you've made. My good adventurers, if you can forgive me for my earlier rudeness, would you tell me whether you have uncovered my diamond necklace? Well, about that, I apologize, Lady Aslan, but we have yet to make any progress of that front. What? You don't mean that, do you? I'm afraid it is as Violet said. Though we canvassed the streets for many hours asking everybody we met about your necklace, we have yet to find any leads. No leads? No clues on my necklace? We have not heard a word about it. But I hope it turns up soon. It has to. I need that necklace or Aslan slowly gets to her feet. The shock has turned her face white as sheet and she stumbles slightly. There's only one more day left, just one more day. She turns her head and I follow her gaze. What is she looking at? Her large, fearful eyes are trained on the window. Or, to be more precise, the night sky beyond the window. The stars are twinkling in the sky, cold in distance and very far away. The moon hangs low in the velveteen darkness. The moon is round and full, just like a pearl. Oh. All of a sudden, Aslan's body begins to tremble. Her eyelids flutter shut. She pitches to one side and she can't steady herself in time. She doesn't have the energy. She's falling. My lady! Lady Aslan! Io dashes forward in an attempt to catch her, but she's too old and too slow. I run to Aslan's side, momentarily forgetting my own manners. I'm sure it's impolite to run in a fancy house like this and catch the girl before she topples to the floor. Golly! Just imagine if I just... Door's opening. Hopefully they don't see the titties behind the language. BRB. Oh, actually, let me save just to get the power and shit like go out. That was good. BRB. Yep, that's there. Okay, so I can just go to main menu. Gallery. Whoa, okay. Okay. So there's 5, 6 pages. 7. What? 8? What do you mean? I think it's 1. It's 1 page. 5. It seems like there's 5 pages, right? 5, 6 pages.